Hi, and welcome to the collective reading for the week of November 28th through December 4th. Thank you so much for being here. If you are joining in the live chat as I premiere this video, I can't tell you how much I look forward to and appreciate your energy in the chat, and it is just a magical time for me, and I really enjoy it. So I'm excited about the reading this week. We are definitely making a shift in a very positive way. It's exciting energy. Most of the readings this week, and if you haven't checked out your reading for your sun, moon, and rising, I highly recommend that you do so. The majority of the signs felt very empowering. Even the ones that had a little bit of difficult reading. Gemini, you kind of had a difficult reading, but I have to tell you, it was an opportunity. It was an invitation. They're saying it was an invitation from Spirit to elevate. And this elevation is going through the shadow side, and they really want me to mention that many of us, wow, they went okay, that many of us are walking through this opportunity, this portal of really stepping into the shadow side and looking our fears in the eye. Also being the gift of unconditional love and forgiveness that we give to ourselves and to others will help to elevate us and to move us forward. I would like to take a second here to ask you to please hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Leave a comment, and hitting the thumbs up helps this video to get out to more people. So if you're watching this after the premiere and you put it in the comment section, that is so helpful. And if you're watching it in the live chat, if you can after we're done here, or hop on over and leave a comment on the regular part of it in the regular comment section, that makes such a difference in the analytics on YouTube. And so I truly appreciate you giving your energy to this message that feels really important that's coming through. So I was surprised by the cards that Spirit chose, the decks they chose, and so I wanted to see what the message was. I took a sneak peek at the overall energy, and we had the shadow side come out. And so the shadow self, that card, even if you are not a Gemini, I highly recommend, if you are walking through this energy of having been triggered by family events, either recently or it's something you deal with continually, the messages that came through were so channeled and so loving and so kind, and such a, I want to say almost a step-by-step guide toward how to work with the shadow side energy in a way that is very empowering and healing, very healing. And so when they send out the shadow self card as the overall energy this week, I felt like they're saying that a lot of us on some level, we all have Gemini somewhere in our charts, and some level we're dealing with this, right? So for instance, I'm a Capricorn rising, and that shows up in my 6th house of daily practices and health and well-being, and I am actually dealing with some issues there. And I thought, well, that's interesting, right? And so kind of taking a look at where this is working out and playing out for you. And if you are looking for a step-by-step manifestation guide, I gotta say that Pisces reading was all about, here's what you need to do, here's how to do it. And I felt like it was a tutorial for everybody also. But that right here, this shadow side, so it's a portal, right? When we're willing to go into the deeper, darker aspects of our life, when we decide, because Mars is in Gemini right now, and I think this is why this energy is coming up overall. And this week, Mercury and Venus both are opposing it, and so they're shining this extra light on it. And at the same time, we've got Neptune stationing direct. So Neptune, when it starts to go direct, says, hey, let's get real about some stuff. And when you have Jupiter, it's squaring this energy, and it wants to expand the healing, right? When it's in Pisces, it wants to expand the healing when it's moving direct, and it's squaring this energy that's going on over in Gemini with Mars in retrograde, which means it's slowing down and it's having to go another layer deeper. And it's like you can't just gloss over things. You've got to go a little deeper to figure things out, whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. But for a lot of us, there seems to be this healing opportunity. For others, it's a very creative energy that is, you're having a chance to really something you've thought about that you want to expand, something that maybe it's a problem that you're trying to figure out a creative way to solve it. There's also that opportunity. The shadow self is sometimes related to our fear of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not capable enough, I can't dive in deep and do this thing. So whether you're healing a family trauma or you're healing your reluctance to push forward on a new project or idea or something creative, it kind of creates this block, this stop. And if you could stop for a moment and look at it and go, wait a minute, why am I so afraid? What is driving this fear? And that's when we face our shadow self. Okay? And it isn't facing the shadow self that then we get this two cards that came out. First was the release and the freedom. So basically, Spirit saying, I want to make sure you understand that when you face the shadow self, that is where the freedom is. That is where the release is. That is with Jupiter and Neptune now both in this very expansive Piscean energy, pushing the energy out. You can expand yourself further and further. You go up to the edge and you push a little farther. And there is freedom and there is growth in your ability to walk right up to the thing that you fear the most. The fear of, I don't know enough. I don't know if I have enough systems in place. I don't know if I have enough support. Whatever your doubts are, this is a week to release the doubts, to let them go. So this really looks like she's standing at the portal of the doorway, right? But if you look at this, it's like you're stepping through the doorway. Right? That's the release. You're setting yourself free from whatever it is that's been holding you back. Your own insecurities. Wherever the genesis of them come from, whether it's probably something in your childhood that makes you doubt yourself. That's usually where that stuff comes from. But sometimes we go through life and we just keep running into brick walls and we're like, why does that keep happening? Well, here's your opportunity to say, well, you know what? I can just plow right through this. Because I know that brick wall is only in my mind. And if it's only in my mind, then I can, in my mind, create a doorway and step through. That's how we face our shadows. And then you have the card of freedom, right? And with that, there's the dove of peace there. And so with this freedom comes this sense of peace, the sense of wish fulfillment, the sense of healing, the sense of I've made it through to the other side. And so those are great overall energies for this week. And with it, you have these two cards that came in out of the Sacred Rebel deck. So these are out of the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. Who makes that? I have no idea. And Victoria, oh, wow. Talk about vintage, right? That has such a vintage name. Victoria Moseley. And then here, this is Alana Fairchild. I will recommend every Alana Fairchild deck. If you are looking for a deck to really do some work with, find the one that resonates for you. But they're all amazing. So here we are sent with the cards of number 13, which is a card of death and transformation, right? We have the power of attraction. So the lighting today, I am actually recording this at 10:45 a.m. on Sunday, the 27th. We have the moon in Capricorn. The moon is still in Capricorn at this time. But the light outside does not exist. It is so cloudy and dreary, so it's hard to work with that kind of light. I'm going to explain to you what I see on here. There is coming up out of the waters is a divine feminine energy, and she's holding this energy ball in front of her. And on the other side of the energy ball, there is a divine masculine, but he is coming from the earth. And they are surrounded by this honeycomb energy, which is a very sacred structure. It is very productive. It is solid. It is strong, and it has that sweet energy of being able to build infinitely, right? You can make that as big as you want. It 3 of them are very solid, and it continues to maintain the integrity. Thank you. Maintain the integrity as it spreads out. It's communal. It is supportive, and it has a lot of growth. And they are holding this energy here. And so this is you. This is you. This is your divine masculine energy, this energy of taking action, and the divine feminine energy of holding the creative vision and the emotional energy of it, and putting it together and creating something that is solid and stable and has opportunity for growth and expansion, and that serves the community at large. My nose is itching big on that. And there's so much potential here. There's so much potential. You are standing on the precipice of a major shift and change in your life that doesn't just benefit your own sense of prosperity, but it affects the prosperity of people around you. And so for you, it could be something as simple as the way that you choose to interact with your family members. You take a different approach, but it creates stability, and it promotes growth of self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value, which is really nothing more important, and self-love within the family community. So it doesn't mean. It could be something like you've come up with an idea that literally changes how we power the grid, right? It could be something like that. It really doesn't matter how big of a community you are affecting, because everything is like a pebble dropped into a pond and it ripples out. And so you don't know necessarily what the effects of what you do, how it dynamically changes things further out that you may never see. Everything has this rippling effect. Energy ripples out. And so this change that you're on the precipice of making, that may to you seem small and not that big of a deal, Spirit wants you to know that in fact, every time you do something that raises your vibration, it has a ripple effect that ripples out across the cosmos. And it raises the frequency and the energy of everything and everyone around you. And so anytime you make a choice to choose love, to choose self-worth, to choose self-esteem, to try to do something in a new and better and different way, every time you reach out to someone, you try to lift them up, you are lifting up the universe, the cosmos. Nothing is insignificant. Nothing. And the choices that we make now determine the future of the cosmos. That's why we incarnated at this time. It is so easy. It is so easy to do something that raises the vibration of those around you, right? Somebody drops something in the hallway and you stoop down and pick it up and hand it to them and give them a smile. That matters. Nothing is insignificant. The kindness that you put out into the world, the love that you put out into the world, the caring you put out into the world, the creative ideas that shift and change things around you. You never know when you reaching out to somebody could change something for them that allows them to go on to create something that's bigger. It is like the honeycomb. It continues to build out, it expands, it creates more stability, more sweetness, more growth. It affects a greater and greater community as it goes out. And then you have the card of number 6, the shock of the new. Did I tell you that this was the 13, which is like, it's called the power of attraction, but it's the death card. And so death is this transformation. It's like the ending of this and going into something new. And we have the shock of the new, the 6. This is soulmate energy. This is soul path energy. And so this change, the shock of the new, and they have these amplifiers up here around this music. It's the music of the universe. And so again, it is very expansive. It goes out. It has these sunflower seeds that birds will eat the sunflower seeds, and they will carry them far and wide and drop them, and they grow sunflowers in random places, and it expands. And one little seed produces so much, right? It produces so much. Also, sunflowers will cleanse the physical earth of impurities like lead. It pulls lead up out of it. That's why a lot of schoolyards, you'll see that they have planted sunflowers around the building because they used to use lead paint and it chips off and it gets into the soil. And so they're trying to pull it up out of the ground so that, they're protecting the children from lead poisoning. It's a way to remediate the earth. It is a way to remediate your soul. This creative energy, this seed of intention that has so much potentiality. It is a way to remediate the cosmos. And so this rippling effect, this spilling out, and it's the shock of the new. It's like a shock wave. It's like a sudden download, a sudden insight, a sudden change that somehow has a dramatic effect on something or someone. But it spills out and it continues to ripple out across everything, and it lifts and raises the vibrations. And it all starts with you willing to step into your shadow self, face your fear, face your anxiety, face the thing that triggers you, that makes you to have this reaction that you recognize as not the reaction you would like to be having. And you say, I see you and I change you. And I'm going to walk through this now. I'm going to step through this doorway. I'm going to set myself free. And in setting myself free, I am impacting the wider world around me. What a message. All right, well, let's just see what we have here. Wow, these are great cards. Okay, so the key to the situation, we've got the messenger of fire. That's that creative energy. It is not the ace. It is not the page. This torch has already been lit, and it's lit in your heart. And so in your heart space, there is this fire that is building to make a great change. And what I love is what happens with this ace. And I'm going to be jumping around here, I can tell. This ace moves out. I mean, not this ace. This knight moves out to the king, into the energy that we anchor into. That is taking the action. Taking the action in our heart space, but then taking it, manifesting it out into the 3D. And so this week, and look, his heart is so lit up, right? His heart is so lit up. Oh, and it looks like the sun and the sunflower around his head again. It is a very shocking opportunity, like shocking as in it's a big shift, a dynamic, and we're having to I think it's going to be a little jarring to some people. I know that there have been times when I have suddenly decided to change a behavior, and people look at me like, you don't mean that. People don't change. People around me think that because I'm surrounded by a lot of fixed energy people growing up. And so I would be like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm doing it this way. You can't do that. Just like that, you could change your mind. Yeah, just like that. And they test and they push and they're checking. Are you really doing that change? I'm like, yeah, I'm really doing that change. And they'll be like, oh my God, she really did that change. Yeah, because I decided to. And that's the energy we're in right now. Decide to make the change. And I think it's shocking to other people because there are a lot of energies that are like, you can't really, just like that, flip a switch? Just like that, you can flip a switch. Whatever it is that you want to change in your life, you can flip the switch. It is a determination. It is a persistence. It is a conviction in the heart space. It is a conviction in the heart space that allows you to really anchor it in, because here the action to take is the card of the judgment, and it's called the call. It is answering the call. It is answering the call. It is hearing the universe and feeling the waves of change coming, and then you pass them through and on, and you don't block and stop. You let them flow. And so, yes, you can make a change like that. You can. And I'm talking big changes. Huge. So, Okay. In the area of what you've been focusing on, we have the card of strength. What's interesting about this, unlike most strength cards, that lion is roaring. Again, it's the shock waves emanating, right? When a lion roars across the savannah, it carries the strength to speak your truth out into the world. And we speak our truths through our actions more than our words, right? Your actions speak so much louder than your words. You've heard that before, right? And so the actions, the choices, and the decisions, the things that are of truth for you. And so the seeking of your own inner truth and then you taking the action, it is like a megaphone that the sound waves just keep resonating out. And I feel the earth shaking. Is there earth shaking changes, at least in your world? And it will impact those around you, and those impacts will impact other changes. The Three of Earth is in the area of what's kind of draining your energy. And I almost feel like trying to collaborate with others, which I do feel we're moving toward collaboration. But it's almost as though you're waiting for other people to get on board before you make the change is slowing you down. You get to be the way shower here. Eventually, there will be more and more people will start collecting up, right, into these communities like we have here in the chat. Like these communities of like-minded people who share a vision, who are working towards something, who are elevating, who are evolving. But I think that it's hard sometimes to stand out in the crowd. It's hard to promote ideas, whether they're, hey, I know we always do movie night on Tuesday night, but I was thinking this Tuesday night, instead of doing family movie night, can we do like game night or craft night, something where we're having more communication? Everybody's like, yeah, but I really like sitting around watching the movie and just stuffing my face with popcorn. But there's not a lot of interaction with that. So I was hoping to develop more of a community within our family. And everybody might look at you funny, so I would suggest you pick a good game. One where everybody can win and it's not hyper competitive. But yes, so something like that. Like it's when you make that change and not everybody's on board and they're a little surprised by it. It's hard to stand out in the crowd. It's hard to stand up for what you believe this change needs to be made. My family, they look at what I do and they're like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter. I know it matters. It doesn't matter that they don't, right? And there are other people who are understanding that we're looking for people like me, and I'm looking for people like you, so that we can work collaboratively together and create this community, right? But we all had to first be willing to say, that's interesting. I want to explore that a little more. And it's hard to be that person and, kind of tuck ourselves away. So the obstacle to overcome is the Six of Pentacles. And this is balanced energy. This week, bringing our energy into balance. So this is mind, body, and spirit, though. This is mind, body, and spirit, because what I'm seeing is you're balancing two things. And so that would make 3 times 2 being the 6. just as the honeycomb shape is a very stable configuration, so is a triangle. And so what is your foundation? Where do you ground in? And that, I think, creating that space for you, that it's for some of you, it might be, I got to get up in the morning, I have to work out. For some of us, it's good, I got to get up in the morning, I have to meditate, right? It's mind, body, and spirit. You know, if you don't, so this is about stretching the mind, growing. Try to learn something new this week. Try to create a little bit of mental stretch. And this week, try to find a way that you feel solid and safe and grounded in. So that would be probably, again, meditation, that would be spirit, but that could be the grounding thing. I'm kind of getting both here. But eating a little cleaner this week, because we just came off of one holiday here in the U.S. and we're heading into another. And so maybe this week we just kind of like cleanse a little. So we aren't way off the charts. You know, in the United States, the average weight gain from Thanksgiving to New Year's is 7 pounds. Holy crap. Literally. So how about this year you shoot for only 5, right? So that's like losing 2 pounds, something to get excited about. So you know, making healthy choices this week, with your routine, with your health and your maintenance, ground yourself. Create a nice solid foundation. And again, the spiritual practice, that could be just simply taking a moment in the shower to count your blessings. There is no greater prayer than the prayer of gratitude in the first place. And you can be grateful for the things that are coming your way. That's how you bring them in faster. Not worrying and wondering when they're going to get here, but knowing they're going to be here and being grateful. It's kind of like, you know, Santa Claus is going to show up with presents, and it's exciting, and you're excited about it. That energy manifests. All right, so how do you transform this situation? Again, the fire energy. This is a card that says to trust. It's 2 of fire, and a lot of times with the 2 of fire, it's like you're supposed to pick which one. But on this one, we've got somebody who is riding what really is the giraffe. The giraffe is, they're fun, they cover a lot of ground, but they see far, and it feels like spirit, right? So it's like you're being carried by spirit, and there is darkness, and they're carrying the light. And I think, how do you transform the situation? You agree to answer the call, and you agree to trust that the way forward will be shown to you. There is this energy of needing to trust and answer the call, because in the area of resources, financial abundance, emotional abundance, physical, let's say healthy abundance, like all of the areas, you know, spiritual abundance, we have the page of water. It's small. It needs to be nurtured, but it is a message of love, of self-love coming in. And that's very trusting energy. And so give yourself over to the trust that the information that you need is going to come in, and then open up your heart. Really open up your heart to nurturing yourself, self-love, self-care, working on your self-esteem, but always with a vision to the future that you are going to manifest through carefully caring for and nurturing. So that means sometimes cutting out this, right? It's like being the excellent gardener, because here we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she is looking to the future. She is like a little mini empress. This is in the heart space. And so this is this growing awareness of your own sense of abundance that you can manifest. And so in the heart space, we have the divine feminine energy. And in the action space, we have the divine masculine energy. And again, I come back to the power of attraction. This is the determination here to know that this is what you want. This is what you're going to do. This is the change you're going to institute this week. And aligning your actions from the heart, like really feeling this nurturing energy, and then taking action out there where you manifest and create it. It's answering the call of your soul. The overall energy that came out was the star. Very healing energy. And what was behind it, and I pulled it because it shows that after like something's completing and there's a healing, or the healing leads to the completion. And it almost feels more like that. Like you complete a cycle by doing this healing energy work, and then there's the new cycle. So as you step through the gateway into your shadow self and you release and you find the freedom, then you start to create your dreams, your wishes, your goals, and that helps to heal. And look, this Earth card, it's really a universe card, right? And so it ripples out. You create and manifest from this space of healing energy, of passion, of excitement. I think it's going to surprise people. This week, make a change that makes a difference in your life. Be a little radical. Be very creative. Be very optimistic. And no matter how big you think that change is, it is a tremendously important thing that you make a change. Because it all will continue to ripple out. And it will change lives. Yours, the community around you, and beyond, where you probably won't ever actually see where the difference manifests. But it's important. Quite an assignment. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I am on Facebook every day where I actually go through the energy of the week. I asked Spirit. They were like, no, we don't need cards for everybody. This is the message. This is the message. Make a change. You can choose to make the change wherever you want to in your life. I want to thank you for chatting along. I love that. I so enjoy it. Please be sure to hit the thumbs up and leave comments. It matters. And check out your sun, your moon, and your rising so that you get the full picture of what Spirit is trying to bring in this week. There was some very highly channeled messages coming through, and I appreciate so much your support and growth of this channel. It really, again, that small action of just hitting the thumbs up, you don't know how much that makes me smile. And then that joy translates into other areas of my life, and it touches to other people. And so it's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. All right, you guys take great care, and I will talk to you again very soon. Hope to see you over on Facebook.